V might have finally told us the truth about what's going on and what's to come out. We have people saying that V will make an appearance on Jimin and JK's show Are You Sure? And then we have the label actually stopping Jin from doing something. So hey Dumplings, it's Dave Desai, let's get into it. There's a lot going on with Jin and it's extremely exciting. If you're not aware, since he has been back from the military, he has done a lot of stuff. He has not taken it easy and he's made sure to fill every second of every day with a lot of activities. And this of course makes a lot of sense as he was probably dreaming about this moment while being in the military and he couldn't wait to come back to make as much content or be back in the spotlight as much as he can. Our boys don't like to rest, but probably have this desire to work and climb the charts and do what they love. And of course, the work is a little bit different when you really love it and enjoy it. So Jin has been at the Olympics carrying the torch. He has been posting and just doing a lot of stuff. One of the new things that came out recently, which was extremely exciting, was a clip that said Run Jin on it. This is a play seemingly on BTS's reality show Run BTS. If you're unfamiliar with that show, it's basically a bunch of games that the members have to play. So they go to the set and then they play either hide and seek, they play with obstacle courses, they play cards, just anything that you can think of, any game that you can think of. They've done. Now, I've reacted to several of these episodes on Patreon. This is their variety show. They normally don't go to actual variety shows, so this is their way of interacting with the community in a variety show way. I like how you see when they're scared or you see how they are when they're competing against each other. This way, the BTS community is not lacking those things. And so if you're interested in watching those episodes with me and joining me on that adventure, then make sure you check out Patreon. I'll leave a link at the top of the description. Now that Run Jin is about to come out, some people think that this will probably be his variety show. We will see him play games. Maybe it's just going to be him having a relaxing few days and showing that. There was a clip that came out where we got to see him on the couch wearing a face mask, chilling in his pajamas, and some people are now thinking that it could be something more chill. So the official episode will actually be coming out August 13th, so make sure you tune in for that. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out this month. There was a little tea about this show and how it came out. Apparently the label was telling Jin that he could take a break. He didn't have to go right into making content and creating these shows, but Jin wanted to do that. And as I mentioned earlier, when you're in the military or when you're just away from something for so long and you've just been itching to get back into it, the last thing you're going to want to do is actually take a break. Take a break and do what felt like the last 2 years probably was, like feeling like it was a break. And this is why BTS is so successful. When people are super talented and they also work really hard, it's really hard for them to eventually not become successful unless they give up. This couldn't be our boys though. They don't be giving up. Normally when a bunch of K-pop stars go into the military, there are no rumors about what's going to happen. Typically people are aware that they're going to be gone for a year and a half and they're not expecting any content. But when the BTS members left, they made sure to record a lot of content and it seems like they've recorded so much it's still not done. Like it's still being put out and people are shocked with how much is coming out. And a lot of people feel like there might be more content coming out soon that would just like shock everyone. Not too long ago, this was not too long before V enlisted, he went on stage dressed in one of the Squid Game characters. People were freaking out. This was of course after the show had aired. This was I think around like Halloween time, I don't fully remember, and people started speculating about what this meant. If this meant that he was going to be in season 2 or if he was just going to be doing this because he was a really big fan of the show and he was doing this around the time that season 2 was being talked about. So a lot of people assumed that it could have meant that V was an actor and he might have considered joining it, especially if he's a big fan of it. But that is kind of just where it died. It didn't really pick up. No one really confirmed it. Netflix didn't confirm it. Nothing really happened. My personal opinion is that if it was true, I think Netflix would have confirmed it or would have sent like a winking face or something, because that would have drawn a lot more hype to the show, especially now that the show is coming out for season 2 in December. I think if he was on the show, it would have already been announced. So my opinion is that V was really just a big fan of the show. Now, there was a photo that came out that talked about the season 2 being in December and the way the person in the Squid Game uniform was sitting. People felt like this resembled V. So just the way the legs were crossed, just the way this person was slightly pulled down on the seat made it seem like it was V. And people started taking old photos to compare it. Now, the photo that was promoting the Squid Game season 2 was posted on the official Netflix account, and if V was on the show, I just don't think that he would not be showing his face. I just don't think that they would have had him go to the studio to snap like 1 or 2 photos and then not show his face, because obviously if you weren't showing his face, he wouldn't have to do makeup, wouldn't have to do multiple shots. It would have just kind of been like a waste of his time. And the same thing applies even if he was on the show. This would probably not be him, because it would just be a waste of time for him to just go to the studio to take some photos. Literally anyone can be in that suit and take those photos for him. I really hope, and I still have my fingers crossed for him. I just know that there's like a 95% chance that this is not going to be him. And I think that that's something that the community, as well as myself, is going to have to remember, is that the boys probably have no interest in recording a show or a movie right now, and that's okay. There would have been no time for him to record a whole show right before he enlisted, as he was recording some other stuff, probably like music related stuff, and then his album and singles that he was releasing at the time. Now, a lot of people believe that V has actually confirmed his appearance in the Jimin and JK reality show, Are You Sure? And he had confirmed it actually a long time ago. So not too long ago, there was a photo that was posted by V with Jimin and JK. This was an interesting photo because it looked like a hotel. Maybe it looked like a strange cave. It didn't look anywhere like they would normally be at. However, the caption said something about autumn, and so that was the time in which the photo was posted. This is important because the members can post photos and have photos posted out of order, so you don't know exactly when the photo was actually taken. Now, apparently it's come out that this was an Indian restaurant in Jeju, and all of the boys were there together to hang out. A lot of people have also figured out a lot of information to say that the show Are You Sure was probably filmed around autumn time. So that made people think that this was confirmed, that V was going to be on the show, or at least have some sort of cameo. And I love that. If this is true, if this actually does happen, this would be fantastic news to see all the boys together and having a little bit of fun. It's almost as if the group is back. It's like almost half of the group, so that's kind of cool. And I think this also confirms something else that people might be upset about. But let me get into a little bit of backstory behind this. There's a lot of people who believe Jimin and JK are dating. Those people wanted to make the assumption that Jimin and JK were always alone by themselves, together, having a lot of romantic moments. And then the other community who believes JK and V are dating want to believe that V was behind the camera the entire time. Now, a couple of things I want to clarify. Even if V wasn't in the show at all and didn't make any cameo, JK and Jimin were likely never alone. There has to be a cameraman. There would be a crew there. And even if there wasn't a crew, like in terms of maybe they just had a GoPro on them and it was never necessary to have a cameraman, there would still be people like makeup artists and stylists on set to ensure that everything looks good. And you need that. Same goes with a producer and a director that's probably on set. So minimum, there's probably like 10 other people next to JK and Jimin. So if they were to have any romantic moments, it would not be in front of this huge audience and it would not be in the show. But I think this also definitely confirms that they're all just friends and there probably isn't much romantic stuff going on. But if V had flown over to Jeju around this time and they had, had dinner, or he had made an appearance on the show, this was all likely just a friendship thing. And a lot of people think that just knowing this, it's confirming or not confirming the relationship on what it could be. And I think that it's great. We have yet to see what the show is about, and honestly, I think whether they are actually romantic moments shown in the show or not, people are going to assume anyway, so we'll have to see what's going on. Just please, no death threats and no attacking. I know that I'm going to see tomorrow morning when I wake up to a bunch of death threats for V, with people saying that they're upset that he was being like the third wheel or getting in the way of Jimin and JK's relationship and all this weird stuff. Let me know what you think. Make sure to check out Patreon for more videos. Link down below. Thanks for this lovely commentary here. Love you. Bye.